because we're going back to normal.
Gotta go back, Marty. Gotta go back to the future.
Back to the present where the past is the future and the future is the past.
Things and stuff, or things with stuff, and stuff or things with stuff and things.
Exactly. You get it.
Things and stuff. Welcome to the stream.
Not stuff and things.
I'm gonna steal thunder right off the bat.
We're not live.
Not the
We are
lightning.
live.
No, we're not. I'm looking at it right now.
I disagree.
Have you thought
You're
maybe your
absolutely
internet
left.
sucks?
Yeah, you're absolutely just like not seeing the things.
I'll
Well,
even put
hello,
on my
everyone.
glasses and you can see
This
it.
is the Villain Talk Show,
Hello.
and my name's Insaniac. That's Greasy Boy.
The faceless
I'm C4.
Insaniac. He's been faceless for a while now.
I tend to be faceless sometimes. That's how things go.
I tend to be faceless
He
sometimes.
lost his face after the incident.
Yep.
We don't talk about the incident, though.
We don't talk about talking about the incident.
Well,
I don't know what
welcome
you're
to the
talking
talk
about.
show.
What incident?
And today, we don't know what we're talking about, so
Yeah,
we
we
just
do.
decided random bullshit
We're
to go.
talking about dinosaurs.
We're talking about dinosaurs and things and stuff, and
Dinosaurs
we're gonna say, you know, we all love streaming so much, you know. So why not do your
what-
streaming through Buzzsprout, and yeah, check out them. We do it through there for free. It's amazing. It's we do all of our wonderful podcast greatness and things and stuff. And you know, we're gonna shout out to our wonderful Patreon. There's 2 Patreons now.
Patreons.
Yeah, we're Full the Wheel and Ruchala. We'd like to say thank you, wonderful people. If you want to be a minion or all that wonderful stuff, support directly. Check out the link tree. It's in the chats. People work on this stuff, and yeah, things and stuff and things. Pander button and yeah, social medias. Yeah, we don't know what we're doing. Welcome to the talk show. Who are we? I don't
Pretty
know.
sure we're talking about the dinosaurs.
I am
Weird dinosaurs.
I'm so impressed at how you're able to follow your way through that intro. It took me so long to get
It's
it down.
really not that hard.
It
I'm
is
sorry to
because
disappoint you.
you missed saying introducing me and the Grease Goblin. And
I
but you
did,
did got the
at the
Patreon.
start.
You got the Patreon. That was
He
good.
introduced
And
you.
you got the bus spread.
I introduced you at the start. My goodness.
You did.
I did all of those things.
Did you?
Sir.
I didn't hear my name.
Yes.
You
I
said your
did
name,
say your
and I
name.
said
You
I'm
should. You
C4.
said.
Fine. You know
Oh,
what?
my
You know what?
goodness,
I'm gonna
the
leave it.
gaslighting.
I'm
Please.
not gonna say
Convers-
anything. And then when
All
we go
right,
back
take,
and
take your
editing, we'll
gaslighting
find out.
elsewhere, sir. I don't want to hear it. All right. All right.
Today's topic
I'm
is
a
not-
Mr. Intro man. It's dinosaurs.
People in the chat should
Today's-
clip the intro where Insaniac
It's
says
dinosaurs.
C4's name.
is not
Yeah.
dinosaurs. Today, as
Welcome
anyone
to dinosaurs.
can
It's
see,
dinosaurs.
Jurassic Park. Dun, 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 Jurassic Park.
we are
Dinosaurs
asking the
scary,
question:
guys.
Are we
If you want
back?
dinosaurs, you should probably say no. Say no to dinosaurs, except for plastic dinosaurs. 'cause those are the best kind of dinosaurs.
Rujal is
Plastic
in the
dinosaurs
chat.
are real dinosaurs
They are.
Hello. Ooh, today we're asking the
Welcome to
question:
Dinosaur Land.
Are we back to our regularly
Are-
scheduled lives?
From the land before time. The land before time. Is it back?
too.
Are we back? Dun 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 dun
You
dun.
know, if we were in that
dun,
movie, you'd be
dun,
Petrie.
dun,
Goddamn
dun.
annoying pterodactyl.
Oh,
You know what
Yeah.
pterodactyls say.
that movie was a great movie. It was. Come on now. Who doesn't love the land before time?
Pterodactyls
Dinosaurs
say?
truly are amazing. I mean, not really.
Hey, yo,
'Cause they,
caw, I'm a pterodactyl.
I see. Man.
What
The
else
more
would
you
they
know.
say?
the
Today
more-
we
the
are
more you know.
asking
Greasy-
if we are
the
going
Greasy
back
Goblin Boy.
to our regularly scheduled lives. And what does
The
that
back,
mean?
The back before time, regular
Is-
scheduled.
With things going
Right.
on in Eastern Europe, with everything
didn't
going
choose- we
on
didn't
with
choose this topic.
all the mandates and everything and all the restrictions being blown gone. We're
All the
we're
government stuff.
we are asking an open question, you know, to our viewers
Is
and
it over?
out there in podcast land or out
Is it
there
really
live right
over?
now. Yeah, is
Probably
is
not.
it over?
Probably not. Let's be honest.
Well,
God, it's never over.
it's
Uh,
see now that's an interesting
the wild
question
ride.
because like everyone's now agreed it's going to be endemic, which for anyone out there who doesn't know what that means, it just means that everyone's going to get it at some point, like a flu.
Okay,
or
can you
a cold.
define what normal is for the viewers?
What
yes,
what,
define
what is?
dinosaurs, please.
Yeah, define normal.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
I thought you said dinosaurs.
I said regularly
Yeah,
scheduled
what
lives. I
is-
did not. I've not said normal.
Yeah,
that's,
you didn't
say
that's a
normal.
word. That's a word you're
You
saying.
said
He
normal
did say normal
thrice.
at one point. No, you did. Yeah, you did.
When?
You said normal thrice.
A couple of times. Man, you're
Yeah,
just
like
this
a
is gonna be a
couple
stream
seconds
chock full of C4 doesn't remember the things that are said. Wow, love it.
It's that
And the
age.
gaslighting, it's just oh man. C4's birthday is coming up in a couple of
Anyway,
days, so we're just
his
gonna make fun
memory's
of him
really
every so
going.
often. He's
so
just he's
fast.
just getting old. You can see the silvers in his beard. You know, it's we can't hyper him for his midlife crisis once in a while.
Oh, that's right. You work at a hospital. Rutala works in a hospital, so she's front line for what's going on. But that being said, is it like, for example, I have friends in LARP, and LARP hasn't really happened since all this has started, and it's going forward now. We have concerts going back in full swing. Music festivals are coming back. I went with my sister for her birthday to like those inner fly tubes where like you pretend you're skydiving, and that was fucking amazing. If you ever have a chance to go do it, it's so much
Oh,
fun.
the wind tunnel.
Yeah, wind tunnel. And
It
like
is fun.
and with my
Yeah.
birthday coming up too, like me and all my friends are going to a hockey game and then the casino after because there's no
I wasn't invited.
yeah, because I like my friends.
Oh, oh
Hey,
we're talking about here.
you've been taking stabs at me. You know what? You better. That being
Yeah,
said,
no,
No,
you
it's just
can't
like
be-
most
Um,
famous duos.
we
We'll take the shots.
They only
so-
like each other because they get paid a lot of money.
everyone
Man.
and everyone and their mother now, because I know my mother is maybe not insane yet because he does nothing. Is starting to make plans, and not just like small plans, like actual like full summer plans and spring plans.
Fuck you! I don't make plans. Go fuck yourself.
No. He makes
Life.
plans. He
You
just
shut
doesn't
your
follow
whore
through.
God damn it!
And so, and even now, like the elusive gentleman will be joining us in a bit, and he was just saying that he worked a
That's my
whole
plans.
12-hour shift, and he had like an actual wing night that he hasn't experienced since before everything shut down. So I would like that. Yeah. So it begs the question, like, are we heading down to a fourth wave, or is it just are we just is it
Life
fine?
just doesn't cease.
I
to
know
function,
everyone's been
man.
saying that we just live with it, but are we actually going through with it? Is this actually truly what's going to happen, or are we just waiting for something else? Open floor. What does Rushala say? Although the number of people who are pitching fits like toddlers when we tell them hospitals require a mask at full time, that can stop any time. I'd say you, Greasy. Ah, Greasy. Ah. I like it.
Yeah, I don't
Greasy.
know. Life isn't gonna. It's gonna just stop. All right. So what is there to? It's to not learn to live with. Right, in that sense.
Quote a really popular dinosaur movie.
To,
Life finds a way.
exactly, and then to look further into a lot of the measures and things that have really been going on for like things, especially nowadays with data that's coming out and things that have been coming out, that's not so great. But also the topic about like certain sizes of like bacteria and other things like this, like the masks aren't really that effective. The bacteria is smaller than the holes than the microns of the masks, and like it to the point of like if for me the one thing that I never understood at the start of a lot of this was like when it came to the level of pandemic, I expected the response of um like fucking Monsters Inc. You know when they had the sock and everyone's just like code 360 or whatever, and then you have literally everyone in hazmat suits. I was literally like if things are that bad and the air quality is that compromised, why are you wearing something that doesn't fully seal around your face? Why you still have open like orifices where you can still be infected, right? There's they there's certain hypocrisies that didn't make sense on double-ended standards, right? And it's like it sounds silly in a regard, but if it's a pandemic and you have to take it seriously, why was it not taken that level, right? People, I think certain places talk about how some people like think they overreacted, but also don't think they did. It's this weird back and forth, and it's just it seems so weird. Like,
You have to, the way I look at that and all that information, because I watched this guy named Dr. John Campbell. And one thing he says is he's an old doctor. It's just watching him. He's got like, he's really, yeah, he's really he doesn't come down on either side. He's very on the fence about everything. But what he did say too about the response and why there was mass shutdowns and why everyone was forced to stay inside was really for the elderly and at-risk populations of the world.
yeah, and that's like they had the most like
because
issues, like,
because if you look at
younger
the
people
data,
like ourselves,
because
have a
everyone
better
likes
chance.
everyone likes to point at the data of like, oh, healthy people or blah blah blah. This is what's happening if you're really healthy, blah blah blah, and you're barely being affected. But what they don't look at and where the numbers actually are big is the numbers of actually at-risk people, older people, people with health problems.
Yeah,
And they're the ones
absolutely,
trying to save, because like if people just didn't care and we just didn't,
Oh yeah, if they got any sickness, right, they would get fucking pretty much decimated.
but
like, and
but this
especially on
one
that
but this
level.
one ravages the body so quickly.
Well,
and
yeah,
so
because
abruptly.
it's targeted at the immune system.
Yeah.
A lot of research recently comes out how it's been from a lot of evidence now shows that it's essentially been man-made, right, from gain of function research, and it's there's points about it that show that it's essentially more effective and actually that it's targeted immune systems in certain ways and the response ability. So like for people with autoimmune systems, it's quite literally quite deadly. Like them getting it can completely cancel out their entire immune system 100%. They would not have no way to combat it in any sense. The people that do have the best outcomes are people like younger, like myself, or like you're like us in our age groups that are between like mid younger 20s to like maybe late 30s ish, or maybe like early 40s. I would say it just depends on when you start getting various health issues. Or people with health issues are going to have health problems with it, but like it's still for me. It seemed it because like obviously it was going to hurt people in that category, but if it seemed as infectious as it was and causing the deaths that it seemed to be inflated as, then it should have had the response of serious hazmatical like response in that regard, you know, like. And I, not that like now in hindsight it's not as bad as it could be because it was specifically more infectedly problematic for those people, and if there was a more targeted response with the knowledge, the foresight of having it now, right, hindsight, obviously it probably would have been a little bit better and responded to. But you know, if wishes are fishes, right, you can't really change it from happening. But at the same time, like there could have been a way better handling of it in a certain sense, and you know, it's nice that things are kind of coming back. I feel like
you're right. Everything could always been done better, and things could be. But to be fair, like this kind of thing only happens every 100 years. And by then, the way that was done 100 years ago is already obsolete. I mean, even if it's man-made or natural, right?
This one was were kind of foreseen in one way or another, though. And it left room for, I wouldn't say interpretation, but ability to predict worse outcomes.
All I'm basing off is in history. Every 100 years or so, some sort of plague, a plague-like thing, comes around and does massive damage, is what I'm trying to say. Whether it's man-made or not, because like there are arguments that some plagues are have been man-made. But
no
that
doubt.
being said,
right? There's a reason that there's treaties and things for it, and the fact that like kind of had some violations. It feels like in the way of this stance for this one, but
yeah,
that's up for the courts to decide.
All I'm saying is you can't really say that we're going to learn from this and be better next time, because I'm saying that the amount of time that usually happens between something like this kind of pandemic, a bio pandemic, usually there's such a distance between that the society has changed drastically by then, either by living situation and worldscape. Rushala changed my life.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Family refuse vaccine. I miss my stance is comfortable. But you're immunocompromised. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, and I understand this completely. Like
personally, and she's right. The government is doing its best, and it will fuck up. Like I'm not going to defend them and say that everything they've done is great. Like I will not. But at the same time,
there's a number of things that definitely could have been handled better. I 100% agree they're doing their best. In a
Canada.
Sense, I would say with quotation.
You have a young, inexperienced prime minister,
all right,
who now has to deal with a global pandemic, and has and can't even go to like his elders or his advisors for help because they don't know what the fuck to do. So now you have, and you have someone with like it's not fair. Like I understand he made mistakes, but like it's the.
Yeah.
In reality,
I don't want to drive it into politics, but there's a lot of things that definitely could have been handled better. There's things that it was definitely in I would say in air quotes the best that they could have done.
Maybe it's not. No, I'm not going to say that either. It's not the best they could have done, but it's you have to understand that these people were panicking just as much as you and I. Right? And things that happen when people are panicking, people will do stupid things always. Exactly.
That's a societal thing.
At the beginning, the information on the virus was changing every few days. South Park made the joke like every 2 seconds.
No, I know.
Like, and it's true. Like until we were able.
Well, that's because certain information was stifled at the beginning.
But now that we're at a point where
evidence to that
information isn't stifled, we now have a steady flow of an understanding, enough data. Does this mean
had it been then things might have been better?
Does this mean we are going to head?
Certain models of things could have been done better because, to my knowledge, like from what hearing from one of the interviews with Dr. Fleming from the United States, talks about how the vaccine was originally modeled off the first alpha variant. Now there's been how many variants since then?
A lot.
So right, and they haven't changed. They haven't changed that model.
But they get weaker.
So it only
they've become.
So no, I understand, but
the original was the worst.
No, I understand that, but they still haven't updated that model since the alpha. So you're still whatever you're getting protection from will only protect you from that severe. No, and it's a good idea because it was, as described, the most severe in a way, but it's still not protecting you from current updates, right?
Am I to understand that you think that we are not going to go back to our regular scheduled lives?
No, I'm literally just explained evidence from a doctor. I'm not sure how you're extrapolating one point from another.
Yeah, but you said if what you just said is that the vaccine was made for an alpha variant, and it doesn't. No,
there just needs to be updates. There just needs to be things. There just needs to be more like now that, like you said, information's coming out a bit more honestly now. And like that's where things need to be a little more updated and a little more clear and a little more transparent, so that way these problems can be avoided and it makes things easier, right? Eventually, I think there'll be a sense of returning to normal, but at the same time, who knows?
Are you betting on people giving us the correct information? Because that's one hell of a bet.
I'm not betting. I'm not a betting man. I've
Rujala
had that
says-
happen before. I don't gamble.
Sorry, Rujala says, I think New Zealand was a great example of what to do. Full lockdown almost immediately ensured every citizen got enough money resources to stay home. However, you have to think, like, New Zealand's a small country with a small amount of people, and their island. They have the three benefits.
I'm going off the base of what that doctor showed as evidence. It's pretty recent.
I feel like you keep saying Dr. Choda, even though you're not.
No, Dr. Fleming. You can see his interviews. He actually testified before I believe a court for certain crimes and investigations that are going on against a court case for Dr. Fauci right now.
No, but Rujala's right. It's gonna be just like flu shots every season.
That's because it's a SARS variant. A flu is a SARS variant, right? It will progress that way because genetically that's the type of disease it is. It mutates the same way because of
I am not going to confirm nor deny that because I do not know.
I do. I've taken the time to look. As someone who has received other vaccines except for this one specifically, and took the time to look into all of it and watch all the updates.
You know
and all the
what? We have
doctors,
someone in
notes
the
that come out
chat
of it.
who actually works at a hospital. Let's
Yes, because clearly, internet research
That's
and
true, I
not
guess.
working. So yes,
But
not
internet-
learning from the four
internet research is
doctors,
such-
Dr. Byron Brittle,
Internet
Dr. Fleming
research
from Dr.
is a minefield.
I
Internet research is an absolute
I understand.
minefield. That being
There's
said,
now at least a 4-doctor peer review that talks about the dangers of these things. So, unfortunately, there is evidence to come out that say that's right now not so great. It is the best that they did with the information they have, but now it's time to update and work towards something better.
So, okay. I'm just going to ask you the question straight up then. Do you think these people buying concert tickets for the fall, or do you think they're going to attend that concert, or do you think things will shut down again?
By the fall,
Yeah.
depends on where. Depends on where.
Here in
As we've
North
seen in
America.
Canada.
Here
Well,
in
no,
North
as we see in
America.
Canada, different provinces have different rules. Is why I'm saying that. Some places have responded differently, like Calgary with their Summer of Fun. So it really depends. I can't say for sure because I'm not a fucking fortune teller, but
I'm not
I would
asking
hope
you to
so.
predict the future.
I would
telling
hope
you,
so, but I don't.
he's asking
I'm not
asking
expecting
you with
miracles.
everything you just threw at me. What do you think is the next? Do you think it's going to roll back or roll forward?
I'm gonna put this as an open ended. I like to keep. I hope for the best and expect the worst. Yeah,
No,
that's
don't-
okay. That's my
no.
answer.
Don't
I hope
throw
for the
all that
best-
shit
I
at
hope for
me
the
and
best
then
and
weasel
worst.
your way out of this. No,
You're
I want
welcome.
an
That's the
answer.
That's the answer. Oh. Yeah. For those who need it, Rushala, I highly suggest you should get it. I'm not disagreeing that it's working for those who need it. I'm just saying that there are also adverse issues that definitely to be researched. The Pfizer documents show quite a bit of that from their over 2,000 plus side effects.
But-
so good.
At first, it was a chemical cocktail. Like when they first
Yeah, I understand. Like I said, they worked with the information they had at the start. It's like it just needs to be updated. Things need to be fixed. It comes with advancing, technology. You need to come to a better.
just like anything, it takes
comes to the
time.
point. Comes to the point where there's pills, right? Like I heard there was a company in Alberta
they
that was working on a pill like that you could just take for this virus.
They didn't just discover penicillin one day and the next day come up with a pill. It took a
Exactly.
long time to distill it to a
Yeah.
point where it was
It
actually
takes time. Yeah.
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 That's
So like I'm not unreasonable to that idea.
let's turn to the Greasy Boy then. Have you made any plans for the upcoming spring, summer?
Not at all. I don't like making plans super far ahead of time to be in.
Absolutely.
Would you though?
Yeah, I don't make very much
Not
plans
really,
very far ahead
unless
either.
it's something that I can guarantee.
Me too.
Well, okay. So do you other than what I was saying? Do you have any friends making plans, or do you
I don't
family?
really have friends.
Man, you're so boring. When did that happen? Danny DeVito's the only
That's us.
the
That
only
is the
interesting
host.
thing
We-
about
we
you
are-
anymore.
We are the boring hosts, guys. We, obviously C4 is the most interesting one because he likes to be the
So-
center of attention.
But-
He exudes middle child energy.
Exactly, right? Just like, pay attention to me, I have green hair. Look at my flashy colored rooms and neon lights.
No, but seriously,
we put
though,
him in a nutshell.
you
Look at it. Look at his no sleeve shirt.
do you? I hate you.
Uh,
Some days. Damn it! I actually had a question for you, bastard. But actually, like, so with everyone basically going, pretty much just everything opening essentially. I mean, you're in the cooking industry as I am. Do you think things are going to collapse back, or do you see that?
Or is this like groundhogs? COVID groundhogs? Is it
I
gonna
could
collapse
see
forward
it
or fall
happening
back?
again come fall, just because like people don't get out as much, so it's going to be like the whole thing again. Where same with flu season and all that.
I was gonna say, yeah. Keep in mind this type of disease does propagate better in cold weather, so it will,
Exactly.
if anything, will get hit harder during the winter season. So,
Like a flu.
like a flu,
Exactly.
what are the chances that it's made from the same virus? What a twist! Who would have guessed?
I
So
see
you
it becoming a yearly thing, at least for the next couple of years.
So every fall will be just like Christmas will be everyone will be
Everyone's getting tests for Christmas. Shove the Q-tip up your nose. So you
oh
can
man,
feel safe.
Grease Goblin, you have pissed off the elusive gentleman.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, well, if he was so,
he gave you
Yu-Gi-Oh
Yu-Gi-Oh cards, damn it!
Shows his pride.
That's a bond that lasts forever. How dare you?
One might say the bond be on time.
It might be a bond to duel.
God.
But yeah, my opinion is it is going to end up becoming like a seasonal thing.
I don't think so as well.
The
It just
COVID,
depends
the
on how
COVID
fast we
winters.
get it. And anything. Yeah, well, that's like, swine flu, bird flu, all this other failed nonsense that never got that far. And then it just depends on if we can actually make something that's like
Whoa,
pill-based
H1N1.
or daily intake
And-
in the way that somebody can choose to take it whenever they feel like they don't feel good.
avian bird
antidepressant.
flu
Those are still a thing.
are like still a thing, but they're more like
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
they're harder
I know
to
they're still
catch.
present.
Like it's
Yeah.
like mad cow disease. It's
Yeah.
not as easy as breathing. You know what I mean?
Oh, I know.
All you
I
have to
know.
do is eat
Just
bad
another
pigs, bad birds, bad cow.
They're
eat
usually
all the
through,
bad birds.
through digestion, right? It's not through
Yeah.
not through inhalation. It's not lungs.
Yeah, it's byproduct based, not
Yeah, well, this one's genetic
air-based.
structure is built differently. That's why.
Also depends on climate, more moisture droplets in the air. Yeah, Rujala. Why you have to put the evolve points into being resistant to moisture. Oh,
Who doesn't love being resistant to moisture?
moisture. As for me, I mean, we already
I
mentioned.
did that for one.
Um, I'm taking advantage of everything opening up. I'm having
Oh,
a pseudo
summer
birthday
of fun.
party, having a bunch of my friends go to a hockey game with me and have cake, and then go to a casino after because might as well while everything's open. But I'm
Might as
honestly,
well go
man,
for a
if
soda.
you didn't say it, like I'm actually like, and I was of this opinion before you said it. Actually, was yeah, greasy boy.
That's what they all say.
Um,
You
I
just don't want to admit that I blew your mind and you
no,
admit that I'm correct.
I look at because 20 like it just seems to be the theme of this decade. Um, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It seems to be the,
Who?
the
Let's wait until we
like
get more murder hornets.
it's like every year in 2020 is going to bring us something new, something new and bad, and so
Gonna be it's
I
gonna
would not be
be
surprised if
the
it went.
Christmas the Christmas
I would not be surprised
gifts.
if it went for the next 10 years. Every winter, the same thing.
Yeah.
Like just because it's the theme of 2020. The decade of the decade of foresight. If only we had no the decade of hindsight.
Yeah, that's why it's
Decade
2020.
of hindsight.
The decade
Yeah.
of hindsight. Everyone will always remember this decade in the annals of human history as the hindsight decade. Why?
The
Because
year of
Back
we all
before
knew
this,
everything was
I
going to shut
always
down
had-
again. We should have done it before everything shut down the fifth time. That was before the fire.
Yeah. Then we didn't see the sixth one coming, followed by the seventh, eighth, 12th.
Ah! I should have gone to that statue before it melted in the volcano eruption of 2026.
That was one of my favorite interview questions back before the 2020s.
I mean, when you
Like
live
back
through
in
like several.
2018, where do you see yourself in 2 years? I'm not sure. I don't have 2020 vision.
I remember those jokes. Now you can
Yeah,
say that about
yes, we
hindsight.
broke
You can say
C4.
that about
Ow.
hindsight that now. You can say that
Ow!
about hindsight though now, okay? And you're like, if only I had the hindsight to see this many
Ow
years
or
ago.
ow?
No, ow! Just ow! Like a physical ow.
It got me 2 jobs.
I remember those jokes. Those were the best. You know what was the funniest part to me about 2020 was those
God, I
really
hate
stupid ass 2020 New York, like New Year's Eve, like really over the top 2020 glasses that people would wear. Or like
Yeah.
each zero was their eye hole.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was the doofest fucking like
Dude.
goofiest looking fucking glasses
Oh
ever.
god. You guys obviously don't remember, but I remember the 2000s where it was a 2 and then you had the 3 zeros and the
Yeah.
eye holes didn't line up so much.
No.
And so like you'd be kind
Oh,
of disoriented
You'd
vision.
have one of the zeros had to be an asshole.
Eh. God.
Man.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's life would change much for Ujala if it went on lockdown again. Everyone just has their lockdown lives now. Everyone knows what they have to do, and things that like life just goes on now.
I think there's also just a handful
The
of
other
people where it
thing
just doesn't
is,
really
like-
affect them that much. A lot of people
The
just
other
kind of
big
sit at
thing
home
is
on the
people-
computer on the internet and stuff. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Both times now.
I didn't mean to.
The other big thing is people are arguing and trying to fight to stay with like home office stuff and everything too,
Yeah.
because it's
Yeah.
become part of life over the last 2 years.
Well,
Yeah, it makes it easier, right? It's like, especially for office jobs and computer jobs, right? For the most part, you can do, especially if you're all on computer, you can do most of that from home if you have a
Yeah.
computer or get a work laptop.
it's actually funny you say that because
I've no doubt
My-
productivity
my-
probably went up higher this year.
my
Because of
older
those
sister's
jobs.
company, they used to be 5 days in the office kind of company, but ever since COVID, they noticed that there was a huge uptick in productivity for a while before it dipped back down. And so what they implemented when everyone started going back to the office was they had a rotating schedule. So every week she would have either 3 days in the office or 2 days in the office, and either 5 days out of the office or 3 days or 4 days out of the office. So the entire day. So basically, either she went in the office Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or she went in Thursday, Friday. And she still worked the other days she wasn't in the office. She just worked those days from home. And everyone would be on and so she'd see her team when she needed to. And they noticed that productivity skyrocketed. And her company wasn't the only one. A bunch of companies started doing this. And it's as everything starts to open up, there is a bunch of companies that are pushing back, saying that they should go back to the office. But there is a lot of data now that shows that having, like, still working from home, like, you're still doing a 9 to 5, but you're doing it from your home at your home desk, and the increase in productivity is really, it seems
Probably
to
quite a
be,
bit.
yeah, exactly.
Because it's your environment, right? It's like it seems so weird in a sense to think about it. Like, you go to an office that's set up from somebody else for you to sit in and work on a computer, when you can do the same if you're in your own home as your own office, and you have all this stuff set up anyways. Like, it's a more comfortable space that you would already feel productive in. It's just having that schedule, having that work like oriented, having meetings and all this stuff, having the team like normal, right? Like, it makes so much more sense. And I don't know why they don't just like the idea to me, like, I think there is, I don't remember where, I heard some time ago there's a place that did like a 4-day work week, and I've tried to like have a work schedule of that, and working 4 days instead of 5 is so much better, man. Like, having 3 days off, like, you try to get your errands done in, like, for those who work a 5-day work week, try to like get your errands done in 2 days, from like cleaning your house to like getting groceries and all this shit. It's just not enough time sometimes, and then trying to have like free time to do whatever you want to do, especially nowadays with everything. Like, I don't know about too many other people, but like videos being like hour-long video games that take, like, you look at Elden Ring and shit like this, that take almost, that have quite large storylines and things like this, or long movies. It's a chunk of time out of your day. You really don't have that much time for actual, like, your own, like, entertainment at all. And a 3-day week, like, weekend, it gives you at least that extra day, at least 24 hours to
Even if it's
get
not
something.
technically a 3-day weekend, even if it's like a 2-day weekend and
No,
then your
yeah.
Monday's at home,
And
like you still
Yeah.
wake up and you still go to work for 9, but you're in your pajamas.
Yeah, like, I would do a 5 days, like, for a 4-day 8-hour shift, and then like I'm cool doing like a 3 or a 4-hour shift on the 5th day, like a short shift, right? It makes sense, because then it's like,
Oh, I just
did a
meant
little
like
bit,
you
you know.
still do a full day's work. You just do it at home, like in your pajamas.
I mean, for office workers, yeah, it's the same thing. But I mean, I'm, as somebody who works in the kitchen, right? I wouldn't mind. I don't mind doing having a 5-day week, just having one of those days shorter, so I'm going into the restaurant for a few hours, getting prep done or something like that, right? And not still having, like, technically a 5-day, but not.
We don't
grinding
get that
your ass the
luxury.
entire time.
My God, we're all cooks.
Depends on if you place that.
Why?
We are. Mostly all of us are.
We should start talking about the cooking industry.
We'll see.
This is the cooking stream.
We
We never got to hear back from Gordon Ramsay.
We could really rip into it, because I'm an owner.
Good.
I'm an owner. You're a chef, and then we have one young and one tenured.
I would
cook.
say sous chefs at most. Chefs,
I was gonna
sous
say
chefs.
what I was gonna say. One tenured cook and one like start up and coming cook. Like, that's a thought.
Yeah, I'm a 10-year chef.
Think about that for next
the
time.
difference. Really, the difference
Yeah,
between
just
cooking and
yourself.
chefing is really just, I don't know. It depends. It's something that's personally defined, or otherwise going to school and getting a fucking something for it.
How about it's just
It's
caring
really-
about what you do?
Well, in a sense, yeah, that's kind of what it is. It just, being a chef means that you actually care about where your food comes from and how it's taken care of, and like who eats it and if they actually enjoy it. for the point of being a cook, like as somebody who's just trying to learn, you don't know where your food come from. You're trying to figure it out if it's something you want to do or not, or if you're just trying to pay the bills.
Something I wanted to say before I forget it is just rolling back real quick. The other thing about not people working in office towers anymore is it means you also don't have a need for office towers, which you have a lot of empty office towers, which means you have a bunch of stupidly rich property owners who are losing money. Chef's
Space
kiss.
for apartments that people are worried about housing markets and stuff.
God, nothing's sweeter than hearing about multi-billion-dollar property owners losing money. Oh,
Why does it sound like you're referring to South Park?
I'm not.
Smile, dip your back really far back. You'll look really good. Just gotta make yourself look like you'd like to hang out, like you'd like to hang out for a couple hours. This is see off his house. Man, he looks like he'd be really good at showing off a house. We should go hang out with him. No, South Park. You can see they're trying to talk about the cue cards. All right, pictures, man. Just me.
I totally missed that reference. Just went over my head,
There,
which is unusual.
point
I'm
in
usually
the-
really good.
they
Yeah,
talk about
you're super tall.
why for yeah. I mean, it's not the first time jokes go over here. They talk about where like real estates, they just got to make themselves look really cool, so it looks like people will come hang out with them, so they can. The
Real estate pictures where they just go like this. Yeah, and they just lean back. Okay, I'm
you
with
just
you
gotta
now.
look really popular for like the picture, so you look like you're cool to hang out with for a few hours to see the house, and then fuck off again.
Rujala says, I've often used a chef as one who creates formulas, with cooks being the one who use them.
A lot of people kind of, I would think, might have that interpretation.
Do you call
But
yourself a
it
modern day
re-
alchemist, Insaniac?
It really takes no skill whatsoever to write a recipe, to write a formula. The idea, at least
if you're
for me as a
baking?
chef, yes and no. Baking, there's already a genuine kind of science to it, so you have to kind of know how certain leaveners work with like yeast and various things. So being a baker, you would kind of innately have the knowledge. Like being a cook, I would say is there's a lot more room for fuck ups. There's a lot more room for mistakes. So if I put in too much of something in a soup or something, I can recorrect it with a couple other ingredients. Not so bad. But if you fuck up something with baking, you can't tell it to finish baking the product, and it's done. And you can't fix it after that point. So you don't know if you fucked up until it's already been fucked up. With cooking, there's a little bit of room to fix your mistakes. Not always, but sometimes. And you can kind of remake something that tastes good or not. So bakers don't have that luxury. They're kind of trained to start with knowing the exact measurements of things and knowing the exact chemical reactions to vinegar, to baking soda, to powder, to these leaveners that activate various. I'm not a baker. Various yeast products in the bread or whatever they're baking and getting the rise and whatnot. I kind of know what you mean. Formulas used to create many. I know how to bake, and surprisingly, I'm actually a pretty decent baker. But I don't really like baking in a sense. I find it's because
You
it
just
has
like
that a
to
lot of
get
I find it's
baked.
too much micromanaging. I mean,
That,
yeah.
that was the joke I was going for. Yeah.
Bow, 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 bow,
Sorry.
bow.
Sorry, I took that one a little too on tone. Yeah, bakers are like incredible science. That's and what's cool in cooking, if you like the science of cooking, they have a study of field called molecular gastronomy, which talks about the atomic makeup of food and how it's made, and that's where for me like it takes I take a lot of interest in the
sorry.
cooking because you learn about
Molecular
you have to learn about
gastronomy?
molecular gastronomy. That's what it's called. It's a field of study. A
No.
scientific study.
I know what both those words are. I know what they mean. And I know what they
Yeah.
mean together. But I just wanted to make
Yeah.
sure I understood you correctly when I go search this.
I didn't choose what it was
No,
called.
I'm
just
searching
telling
it right
you. This
now. You
is what
keep talking. I'm searching. You keep
I
talking.
had to learn it in school.
I need more than just you keep talking. I
It's
just want to
the
make
it's
sure I
the
heard you
study.
right.
It's the study of how chemical reactions and atomical breakdown of foods and how things are created on a synthetic level. And it's so how you can gauge certain reactions and how you know certain foods work a certain way and how they react and how it's made. And that's how you get like the atomic structure. Chemists know the atomic structure of water. You can do the same thing with any type of ingredient, any type of food in general. You can look up the certain type of particles and minerals and molecules and vitamins that are inside of this product to enhance it or bring out that quality as a chef, or at least I personally try to drive as a chef when I make my food, is to find the way to bring out the best natural flavors of the ingredient to enhance that. I don't. A lot of chefs, they'll try to put on certain. A lot of chefs, I find young chefs, they pick a flavor that they kind of like and they stick with it. But you kind of mask certain flavors sometimes when you do that. You hide the quality of certain carrots or products of good vegetables. Vegetables have a lot of flavor that a lot of people don't realize. And like, I'm not a vegan or a vegetarian by any means, but they can be. There's a lot of things that vegetables can be done that I've learned from going to vegan restaurants and having to like study certain things from that. And it's amazing the things that they can do. That you can actually like anything can taste great if you just take the time to do it. And like in cooking class, I had to take the time to learn how to work with jelly terrines and like mousses and like meat pates. This is the strangest, weirdest things that I could think of.
It's not
No,
mousse,
not
it's
meats.
meese.
No, like
Yeah, it's meese.
ground up cream. It's like cream pate, shrimp pate.
I know, it's
with
meese, not mousses. Mousses is not a word, it's meeses.
Mouse. Sorry.
I know. But it's
Yeah,
not
they don't-
mousses, it's meese.
I like to see the slow progression of C4's jaw dropping as he looks into molecular gastronomy.
It's
Tell
'cause
us your
he knows
reaction,
I'm
sir.
right,
How are you
that it is
feeling?
meese.
What?
Tell us your reactions. What are you going through your mind right now?
What
As you're learning
the
about this.
fuck? That's it. Like, what?
Yeah. There's
They
a whole
can
field to study.
change the innards of an orange so that when you open
Yeah.
it, it's an orange mousse.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shit food can do, man. There's wild.
Sorry, I
They're
also
the
got
shit
that- I need to
they
post
can
this
they
in the
can
chat. I'm
they
posting
can
it in the
genetically
chat.
make it so that way like your one fruit actually bears a different seeds from another fruit. There's a lot of
What the
things, and that's where like a lot of genetically modified food can come from, and that's where talking about once upon
What?
like one of I'm going to shout out to one of my first YouTube video where I talked about lab grown meat. That's where things kind of come from in a sense, where they talk about trying to synthesize food products and making things grow from other things because it's coming from that point of trying to solve world hunger and all these things and trying to actually provide an abundance of
Using
things to
things
people
like
that
stem
don't have.
cells to
Yeah.
grow things.
Yeah, exactly. And plant I think it's called plant reassimilation. I'm not really too sure, but I know you can
Yeah,
like
plant reassimilation, and then
What?
you
there's
can
also
switch
the
different
whole-
branches of plants to grow other plants and hybrids of different fruits and amazing things. And there's a lot of amazing technology that's done in the world of science with food, and a lot of people don't really realize it. And it goes hand in hand with right now what they're trying to figure out with trying to colonize Mars, trying to figure out how to make food like this sustainable through space. So that way people can actually get the nutrition they need and can
Slow
have
down.
like
All right, slow
interesting
down.
and unique
Slow
foods
down.
out in space.
No.
Slow down. You're throwing
This will be in next
so
week's
much.
episode.
You're throwing so much at me. I'm just. We're
and it's
slow
all
down
very
here.
technical
This-
terms.
I'm gonna take
Pump the
I'm gonna take a
brakes
shout out
just
right
a
now.
little.
A lot of big
To my
words.
favorite guy, Bill Nye the
Let's-
Science Guy, because science
Pump
rules.
the brakes. Let's talk slow, a bit slower. You're throwing a lot. So.
And use smaller words for C4.
Man,
No. Big
who
words
thought
are
this would?
fine.
I was gonna say, I feel like who thought I would be at this
talking
point right
really
now.
fast.
I'm talking too much food science
You're
for
throwing a
C4.
lot at me. I just found out apparently that we can fucking grow cherry tomatoes that are like a cherry mousse that are ready to eat, or you can
Yeah.
Yep.
or you can like make a tomato pate inside a ripe tomato, and anyway, I'm so
Yeah, it's all about
Yeah.
chemical breakdown, man.
that's okay, sweet. Science is
My
awesome.
favorite
Wow.
things that I've seen with
So
molecular gastronomy was someone basted a lobster with butter from the inside.
Yeah, you could do that too.
Yeah.
It's from the fat of the lobster. You could also one small little
No.
way to talk about.
They injected the butter to
They
it
did.
and
They
then
did
let it
barter
marinate over
before.
days.
I see. That's interesting. Interesting.
Yeah.
Do they do that while it's still alive?
No, that would be cruel.
Okay. Yeah, it wouldn't be very good, and I don't imagine it would be good for the meat.
No,
one
not at
small
all.
thing you could do that. Alton Brown is one of the few cooks. He did cooking videos when I was a kid. He's one of the few scientists that works on molecular gastronomy. He's one small thing you can talk about that kind of like is molecular gastronomy and small thing. When you make mac and cheese, if you actually add nutmeg, like a little bit of nutmeg to your mac and cheese, it makes it taste more creamier because of the
It
smell
does.
of nutmeg. Just from simply having that smell fragrance and the combination of your nose, you get a certain response in your taste buds.
The other option is using actual cheese instead of powder, and then still adding the nutmeg, and it gets a lot creamier still too.
Well, I meant homemade regular mac and cheese, not processed sad cheese.
Yeah, exactly.
For us Canadians who are stuck with Kraft.
Kraft is delicious.
Speak for yourself.
I love Kraft.
I make my own cheese sauce every time.
I've been eating butter and Parmesan noodles for like a week. So good.
Alton
but
Brown? I've never heard
broke
of this
his
person. I've never heard of this form of science.
Alton Brown's pretty cool. He's a terrible cook. There's like he's tried to do cooking recipes, and my teacher tried to make us do cooking recipes. Like they showed us, and they turned out bad. Like we had cookie recipes that were just awful. But he talks about how him being a bad cook has helped him learn how to chemically become a better cook. Because he couldn't do it regularly, so he had to learn the science behind it.
You're telling me some guy is fucking bendered his way into being a cook? He went full bender.
Kind of.
Can't
like
cook.
he's he could cook really well at all. Like he talks about how a lot of food is bad, and like, he's not a chef. He says this really out there pretty blatantly. He studies like molecular gastronomy, but he's not a chef. He says he's like, I can't cook anything, but I know how to cook and why things are used for cooking.
The food show I watched was Elmer. Bam.
Elmer. Oh, you mean Emerald?
Emerald, yeah.
Yeah, Emerald Lagasse. Yeah, I remember him. I got to witness some of his shows. He was really cool. Prominent. And I don't know if he was French.
And the Italian lady, whose name I never remembered.
Julia Child.
That's it.
Yeah, she was popular out here. Yeah, I was also gonna say Chef Boyardee was the Italian one that was really popular.
I was gonna say
never had a cooking show.
It was
He's just faces on every can.
It was the really good looking Italian woman.
Oh, that's a matter of opinion, sir.
No, like
some people have a thing for bald Italian men with a mustache.
I mean, I'm not gonna shame you.
I'm just putting that one out there.
Well, we heard it here first. Insaniac's type: old Italian men with curly mustaches.
Mr. Clean, he's my shit. There's no hair on his face at all, except for his eyebrows, and they have to be white.
Yeah, white everything. White shirt,
just the eyebrows, just the eyebrows.
What, you set your fantasy? Mr. Clean comes into your bed at night and cleans your pipes. You never felt cleaner.
And I just think to myself in my sleep, the Mr. Clean theme song every time. Don't even get me started. No, she wasn't Italian.
Now I watch because at my work they always some of my staff always in the bar always put on like the cooking shows, and it's like kids bake off competition, or everything's a competition now.
I kind of like the Iron Chef ones, but there's like a few that were like the ones where they give you random ingredients to kind of go with, but then they kind of got a little out there at a certain point. I remember when they were pulling out some weird ingredients, like just like bizarre fruit you've never heard of, and like animals that are
Soylent
like
Green.
probably extinct. Yeah, Soylent Green. Yeah, I remember that. Just whatever you could think of, garbage. Make it work.
Soylent Greenery.
And you have
Man, I love
no, 2
Futurama.
minutes. Was it, or was it an hour? I don't remember. I think it was an hour.
My favorite most recent one is the is it Cake, where it's just taking that
Oh.
trend of like the
You mean,
internet,
yeah,
like
the
that internet
YouTube
trend where
videos?
people make cake in really stupid things.
Yeah.
It's a Netflix show now too.
I don't understand how that's a show. You just
I think
Watch
so.
someone
Basically,
break
what the
down
Cake Boss did, they just made it into a stupid show.
I don't understand that. Like I
And
know
the Cake
I know
Boss,
the
No,
videos.
I
what
think
what
you
a fuck,
nailed it.
like it, since we're talking about this, is
I
I
know
brought
the
him up.
videos. I don't
What
understand
a
the
fucking
show.
like the Cake Boss. Every like maybe like once in a while he would do a cake that's actually impressive, but every other time it is just
Watch the Cake Boss.
he just
You know,
used
I
the
like
fudges.
What about the cakes you can get in vending machines?
those are like I don't understand what the show would be because like if it's the videos are just like them cutting things that are weird that should be cake. It's the show of them just showing those clips
Yeah.
consistently.
Exactly.
Man, it's like the
Yes.
South. It's like the South Park, like awesome news broadcast, but with dogs
Exactly.
instead of cake. Oh my god, super awesome news. Just like the Villains Talk Show coming to you live.
We
need a
still
puppy segment.
have just under 4 minutes left.
We need a
Nailed
puppy
it was
segment.
also pretty good.
Or like a cat, or no, we need a cake segment.
What?
Yeah, we just need to have like a cake baking episode.
Cake
Oh,
baking
I'm so glad it's
episode.
my birthday this weekend. All this talk of cake just makes me want cake now.
Having
Yay.
2 different cakes now.
Oh, that's what we'll end on. I am turning 32 this weekend. Woo!
Sorry for your loss.
I'm
Welcome, Beanie.
leaving. I'm leaving my last second last prime number. When's the next prime number?
Congratulations on your future age.
Oh, when's my next prime number? Oh no.
We don't have the
47
mathematician
years
here
from
to
now.
do math.
Is it really?
No idea.
Come on
I'm
now.
guessing it is
The prime number
69.
age. I called them the prime number ages because they're prime numbers.
it's 69, isn't it?
Oh my god. No, that's so
Wait, was
sad.
I right?
That is so sad.
37 is the next prime number.
Is it 37? On here it says 73.
42.
Yeah,
73.
yeah. A math wizard whispered in my ear.
Math was right.
I don't believe that.
Yeah. 37.
Is it 37?
Did I not
Oh,
just-
thank God.
Did I just not
Yeah.
not guess that?
No.
No, you said 73.
Oh,
No, I didn't.
So 31, if for anyone
I
who
said
doesn't know,
30.
the prime number years are
I'm
basically
gonna watch it back. I swear I said that.
you get a prime number usually every 2 to 3 years. But then all of a sudden after you hit 31, it becomes every 5 years or so and longer. And the prime number years
Wait,
are
so
going.
is 69 a prime number or no?
No,
You sure?
it's definitely not. 100%.
I thought
67
the
is.
classification
I mean,
for a
it's-
prime
it's-
number is
It's pretty prime
it
for
can't
some
be
people.
divisible by 2.
No, it can't be divisible by anything except 1 and itself. That's a prime number. So, for all those who are living in their prime number years, remember, live them up. Don't look at it you're like your 20s or teens. Live them in your prime number years. Because
You're
eventually
only as
those,
old as you feel.
all those prime number years will stop coming from 2 apiece and
Like
start
that- like
going
that song
five
says.
a year. That being said, I am sorry.
You.
Everyone out there had nothing better to do. I'm glad you spent it with us here. I am C4
Oh,
hey,
with
I'm
the
a
Greasy
prime
Boy
member here right now.
and in Super Insaniac. We are the villains of the Villains Talk Show.
Interpreter?
Catch us
I'm
on
in
anywhere you get
Super
podcasts every Tuesday and Wednesday, or live on Wednesday nights. Catch us on Friday for Friday Two Shots. I'm not sure if we'll be doing this one this weekend because I plan on partying, but if we do, we will. It'll blah 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 blah. It'll be one on Friday, 10:30, 10:30 Mountain Time,
You're running it,
9:30
right?
Pacific,
Birthday themed one.
9:30 Pacific. That being said,
we know things and stuff.
Birthday
you don't.
themed one
you
shot.
don't know nothing.
Villain monologue.
I know how to
followed
count
by
to two.
people on
You don't know
Social
nothing.
medias.
Count to 2 right now.
John
I'm
Cena.
sure you can count to at least one.
Prove it.
Two. What am I proving?
Remember to check us out.
Not the person that was shouting.
VillainsTalkShow.com to
Wonderful
VillainsTalkShow.com/Buzzsprout. Check us out anywhere. Just check out the Villains Talk Show. I've cornered the market on that name. You'll find us everywhere.
Patreon, check out the link tree.
Linktree will
Remember
be
to check out
posted.
the
posted again.
Zero
Love
podcast
you
as well.
all. Stay positive. And Dripping Cow.